and perimeter, day one, we got 3 shapes going on: rectangle, parallelogram, triangle. Hopefully, by this point, we know how to find the area of a rectangle. Anybody?
Nope.
Oh.
Length times width.
Length times width. In this case, we have B's and H's, so we're gonna go base times height. Interestingly enough, the area of a parallelogram is also base times height.
Ooh, sweet.
Isn't that fun?
I know the area of the triangle.
It's base times height divided by half.
Not divided by half,
Two.
divided by 2, yeah. So, I most frequently write it half times base times height.
What happened?
Charge to the phone. Okay.
Oh, charge the phone. I do that so that I don't have to press equals and then another button, but you can do base times height, divide by 2, it's the same formula. In all of these, your base and height make a right angle. So, that's how you know what's the base and height. A lot of times, like especially in our triangles and parallelograms, you'll be given this slanted side, but that doesn't make a right angle with your base, so it's not your height. Okay, it's just the length of that side. I didn't write the formulas for perimeter because you're just adding your sides, but the perimeter rectangle is just 2 of the bases and 2 of the heights added together, and just around. Your parallelogram, 2 of the slanted ones and 2 of your bases added up, and then your triangle is just the 3 sides added together. So that's your perimeter. So again, area is like in the middle, how much space does it take up, and then perimeter is your edges around. One really common thing that I want to talk about before we even get there is your area of a triangle. So when you have your triangle, like it's split by your height, it's like pretty common for people to think that like we're finding the area of this triangle and the area of this triangle. No, your base of the entire triangle and your height of the entire triangle will give you the whole area of the triangle, not 2 separate ones. Does that make sense?
No.
Sure.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not. I'm gonna go with that was a joke. Hopefully it was.
Can you review the overall?
What?
Can you go over it but in a different color?
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah,
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 there you
I
go.
understand now.
Yeah, I got
Good.
it.
Okay. Great. I sense no sarcasm. Anyway. Okay, so we're gonna find area and perimeter of these. First off, we have a parallelogram. You'll notice there's no rectangles because we spent 2 days on those. So hopefully that's okay. What is the height of my parallelogram?
12.
12, yeah, it's this thing that's dashed. 12. What about the base? Yeah. We know that in parallelograms, the sides opposite each other are the same. And again, your base and height make a right angle. So our base is 3.5. Our height is 12. So throw that in the calculator, and what do we get for our area?
42. Yeah,
42. When we label area, it is units squared. Okay, another common mistake that I see is people want to find like this dashed part down below here. That's like nothing that we care about. That little dashed part, people want to find that. It doesn't matter what it is. All it's saying is that at some point, this base and height make a right angle. You could very well move this 12 into like right here. They just didn't put it inside the shape, they put it outside. Because it's trying to make it look sleeker, even though it really doesn't help. But let's find the perimeter of this one, we'll only find one perimeter, but. So perimeters are around, so am I gonna use my 12 to find the perimeter of my
No.
parallelogram?
No.
No, I'm gonna use what numbers?
13 and 3.5.
Yep, 13, 3.5, 13, 3.5.
Oh, yeah, so you gotta find
26 plus 7. So, like
26 plus 7 is how much?
33.
33.
Yeah.
And then we have the same units, not squared.
Cause you gotta find perimeter right after, right?
Yeah. We won't find perimeter of our next one though. We'll just do it once. Hopefully that's.
So it's just like where to say if you were to find the area and perimeter together.
Yeah, I just didn't write perimeter here. Find the area and perimeter. I actually want to do it every time, you know. Thought it'd save us some work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, in our next parallelogram, what is my height?
4.
4. So my height is here. That means the base
It's 10.
is this line, which is 10. Good. So we have base 10 times height 4. So how much is my area?
40.
And then what would I label it?
And
Meters squared.
Meters squared. Good. Right. Question on area parallelograms?
no.
Okay, feeling good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, then we have our triangles. Again, I like to use the 1/2 base height. You can do base height divided by 2, really doesn't matter. In this case, what is our height?
7.
7 is our height. And what's our base?
10. 16.
What did you say? I heard
10. 16.
it. 16, your entire base. So you could break this down into 2 right triangles and do 10 by 7, 6 by 7, and then half. But it's really just easier to take your entire base, which is 16, and your height of 7. So our area is half times our base, 16, times the height, 7, gives us 56.
Yeah.
And then inches squared. This is our area. So like I said, you can find the parts and then add them together, but that just seems like a waste of time. But I'm just being honest. And then our perimeter, we already know on one side we said this was how long?
16.
16, and then what else do I add to define perimeter?
12.2 and 9.2.
Yeah, am I adding or multiplying?
Adding
Adding those up, so 16,
28.2.
28 point what?
2.
Oh, and then plus the 9.2.
8.2.
He was just adding these two. 28.2 plus 9.2. What do we get? 37.4?
Yeah.
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 Inches or inches squared?
Inches squared.
Inches squared.
Inches. Inches. Area squared. Perimeter is just inches. You can think of it like area takes up space, so it's 2-dimensional. You have the square there, whereas perimeter is just like a line.
It's like the border
It's like what?
of, like the border of.
Yeah, like a border. Yeah. Okay. What is my height in my next triangle?
2.5.
2.5. What's my base?
11.
11. Do I need to find this little line length?
No.
No, you do not need to find that. This little dash part is not part of the triangle. Again, if I literally, you can put it here, and then this would be dashed. It's just a different way of labeling them. So, our area formula is half times, we said our base was 11, times our height is 2.5. So 5.5 times 2.5 is how much?
13.75.
13.75. And then what would our label be?
Inches.
Feet
Feet
squared.
squared.
8 squared, there we go. So that's our area. Okay, questions so far? We're good? Okay, here's where we kinda like ramp it up a step. We have parallelograms, and in this case, we're not finding the area, we're finding the value of h, which is a height. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the area, and then we're gonna set up an equation to help find the height. So kind of what's happening is you have two different bases and two different heights. And no matter which way you look at it, whether you think 15 is the base or 7.5 is the base, no matter which one's the base, your area is still the same. The shape still takes up the same amount of room. So pick one of the heights. Like, which height do you want to look at first? 7.5, that's gonna be a base, but yeah, okay. If I have a base of 7.5, what's the height associated with that? What makes the right angle with the 7.5?
12.
The 12. If you follow this line, the right angle is with the 12. Okay? So, honestly, it doesn't really matter which one you think is base and height. To me, the base is the one that's like the solid line, and the height is kind of like the imaginary line, but it honestly doesn't matter if you're just multiplying them. So to find our area, we know we take base times height, so we take 7.5 times 12, which gives me how much? 90. So we know that the area inside here is 90. Well, now if I look at a different point of view, where we have a different base and height, let's say our base is 15, what height is associated with that?
H.
Yeah, this h. This h is the height that goes with the 15. So if I take my base 15 times my height h, I know that the area still has to be 90. So really what you're doing in these problems is you're matching the base and height together and then just solving for whatever that area is. So if I have 15 times h equals 90, how do I get h by itself?
Divide 15.
Divide 15 by 90. So 90 divided by 15 is how much? 6. So our height is 6 yards. So we're really just matching two numbers, setting that equal to the other two things multiplied together. Okay. Alright. Again, so which two numbers are both, what base and height,
9 and 4.
yeah, are both numbers, that's what I wanted to ask. 9 and 4, so 4 is my base, 9 is my height, they go together, right? So we know our area is 4 times 9, which gives me how much?
36.
36. So then the other two things have to go together. So our 16 and our h we haven't used yet, so they have to go together. So 16 times h, and that has to equal how much?
39.
36. You're close, yep, 36, the number we just found. It has to equal that area. So then how do I find for h? 36 divided by 16, and we get,
2.25.
and then our label is just meters. Questions? Okay. Which base and height pair are both numbers here?
5 and 1 per name.
Yeah. It initially looks like we don't know what this is that makes a right angle with it, but we know in parallelograms that those two are the same opposite sides. So our area, you said 5 times 9.8. And how much does that give me?
49.
49 even?
Yeah.
Okay. So then that has to be the same as, what else?
14 times each.
Yep, 14 our base, h our height, so 14 times h has to equal 49, which means h is how much?
3.5.
3.5?
Yep.
And minus. Okay. Questions there?
No.
Alright. We got two more kind of word problem, I guess. So the triangle has area 16 feet squared and height of 4 feet, find its base. So we know we're dealing with a triangle and area, so what's the area formula for a triangle?
Base times height times 2.
Either divide by 2 or times a half, yeah, either way. So we're gonna plug in what we know. We know the area is 16, so where should I plug that in for A, B, or H? In the A, yep, so area 16 equals the H, the height we know is 4, so what am I plugging in for H? 4. Do we know the base?
No.
No, that's what we're looking for. So let's simplify this. What is a half of 4? 2. So when we simplify, we have 16 equals base times 2. So how do I figure out how much my base is? Divide by 2. So what's our base? 8 feet, right? So with some of these, you will have to use your formula to kind of work backwards and solve for our sides. Okay, last one. You'll notice we have two shapes going on. The first one is a rectangle. How do I find the area of that?
5
Yeah.
times 12.
Yeah, 5 times 12. What's 5 times 12?
60.
So I know that that rectangle takes up 60. And then the other shape that I have is a triangle. It's not really, I mean, I look at this, I'm like, that's not a 90, that's not a 90, that's not a 90. So we're gonna have to make our own 90. So this is gonna be our height. How much is that height?
2.5.
Not quite. I know that from the bottom of the rectangle to the top of the triangle is 16.
Oh, it's 4.
How'd you get it?
Because the bottom is 12 and it
Yep.
says the whole thing is
Yeah. So 16 minus the 12, our height is 4. So then the base has to be this side. Well, what's that side like?
5.
5, good. So our formula, triangle, half times our base, we said was 5, times our height, we said was 4,
10.
so we're at 10. So what's the total area?
70.
Good. 70 centimeters squared. Okay. Questions?